Let's go Broncos! What if I told you that one of the most important pieces of Denver's Super Bowl puzzle might be slipping away right before our eyes? That behind the scenes, conversations are happening that could reshape the entire future of the Broncos defense, not next year, but right now, in the middle of the playoff race? What if the man responsible for transforming this defense into one of the most feared units in the league could soon be on the other side of the field as head coach? The tension is real. The pressure couldn't be greater. And believe me, this isn't just another preseason rumor. We're talking about direct connections, real negotiations, and a potential power shift that could either boost Denver's playoff chances or ruin the foundation of everything this team has built defensively under Sean Payton. But before revealing all the details, click the like button if you're a diehard Broncos fan who bleeds orange and blue. And if you followed this team through its glory days and disappointments, leave a comment right now saying, "Go, Broncos! We were born for greatness." Now, let's get into it. Vance Joseph, the mastermind behind Denver's revitalized and rock-solid defense, is making serious noise across the league, and not just because of what he's done this season. ESPN just dropped a detailed piece connecting him directly to the head coaching vacancy with the New York Giants. That's right. The same Vance Joseph who's been instrumental in transforming Denver's defense into a top-tier unit could be eyeing a return to the top job, but this time not in the Mile High City. This isn't some baseless rumor. Joseph's connection to the Giants isn't just speculative. He's got real ties to their GM Joe Schoen from their time together in Miami, and ESPN reports that Schoen sees Joseph's defensive intellect and leadership as a genuine asset. That familiarity and respect put Joseph high on the Giants list, making him a serious contender. And with the NFL's Black Monday looming, when the coaching carousel kicks into high gear, this could develop fast. Now here's the catch for Broncos fans. If Vance Joseph is going to stay in Denver, the front office might have to pull out the big guns financially. We're talking about potentially making him the highest paid defensive coordinator in the league. Because once other franchises, like the Falcons, who could move on from Raheem Morris, start dialing his number, Joseph will have options. And let's be honest, the redemption angle is enticing. His first head coaching stint with the Broncos didn't go as planned, but this time around, with a loaded defense and Bo Nix under center, the landscape is completely different. The Giants' situation itself is intriguing. They've got Jackson Dart, Cam Skattebo, a very aggressive front seven, and most importantly, the number 2 overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. That pick alone opens doors. They could use it to build around Dart or trade it for a massive haul to stack talent across the board. It's an enticing setup for any head coach, especially one with Joseph's vision on defense. But the wild card is this. The Giants may lean toward an offensive mind to help Dart develop. That gives Broncos country a sliver of hope that Joseph might just stay if the right offer and commitment is made from Denver. Back in the Mile High City, the Broncos are gearing up for their final regular season clash against the Chargers, and they just got a boost. Pat Bryant and Nate Atkins practiced in full this week and are expected to be back. That's huge. The Broncos rank second in the NFL in drop passes with 42. These aren't just any drops. These are NFL officially categorized, meaning they're passes that should have absolutely been caught. Getting Bryant's sure hands back in the mix is critical, especially as we gear up for playoff football where every possession matters. And speaking of cleaning things up, Sean Payton has been crystal clear. The Broncos must improve their turnover margin. Right now, they sit at -5. That's not going to cut it. Only the Rams in the last 25 years have won a Super Bowl with a negative turnover margin. The message is simple. If you want to go deep in January, you have to protect the football and capitalize on opponents' mistakes. Players like Talanoa Hufanga and Riley need to convert those near misses into game-changing plays. Hufanga, for instance, should have 5 interceptions by now, but he struggled to secure them. Those are the fine margins that separate contenders from pretenders. The game against the Chargers is more than just another matchup. It's a final tune-up, a chance to iron out the wrinkles, sharpen execution, and build momentum heading into the postseason. This is the time to hyper-focus on the details. No costly penalties, no drop balls, no missed opportunities. Because when you're facing quarterbacks like Trevor Lawrence, Drake May, Aaron Rodgers, or Lamar Jackson in the playoffs, every snap, every read, every decision counts. Because here's the thing, retaining Vance Joseph could very well be the defining move that shapes not just this playoff run, but the Broncos' future defensive identity for years to come. This isn't just about keeping a good coach. This is about continuity, leadership, and maintaining one of the most feared defensive units in the league. Think about what this defense has become under Joseph. Players like Jonathan Cooper, Nick Benito, and Zach Allen have flourished. The entire unit plays with cohesion, aggression, and discipline. It's not just a collection of talented individuals, it's a system that works, and Joseph is the architect. You remove that architect, and there's no guarantee the next guy continues that same level of production, especially heading into a postseason where defensive play will likely dictate who survives and who goes home. That continuity could be crucial. But at the same time, we also have to be realistic. Vance Joseph is human. He's driven. He's a competitor. And deep down, you know he wants another shot at being the top guy, the head coach. And you can't blame him. His first opportunity in Denver ended without playoff success and without the kind of roster support he's working with now. This isn't 2018 anymore. Back then, he didn't have a franchise quarterback, and the defense wasn't nearly as deep. Today, the Broncos are stacked, and Bo Nix has breathed life into the offense. So if there was ever a time for redemption, it's now. But that door might not be in Denver. The Giants offer a fresh opportunity. They're not without flaws, but with an aggressive front seven, a young quarterback, and massive draft capital, it's an appealing situation. And here's where it gets even more complicated. If the Broncos make a deep playoff run, Joseph's stock rises even more. What happens if Denver reaches the AFC Championship or even the Super Bowl, and that defense is the difference maker? Suddenly, he's not just another candidate. He's the guy everyone wants, which means the Broncos have a small window to act. And financially, let's be honest, Denver has shown it's willing to invest when it matters. They brought in Sean Payton with a massive contract. They've retooled the roster with a balance of youth and veteran savvy, and they've weathered the storm of the Russell Wilson contract fallout. So if they want to retain Joseph, the money should be there. The question is whether they see him as an indispensable part of their future or just a short-term luxury. There's also a culture piece to this. Joseph has earned the respect of the locker room. He's not just a coordinator. They listen to him, they trust him, and most importantly, they perform for him. That matters. In a league where locker room cohesion can unravel quickly, Joseph's leadership has brought structure and purpose to that defensive side of the ball. And let's not forget that unit kept this team afloat early in the season when the offense was still finding its rhythm. Now, let's flip the lens a bit. What happens if he leaves? Who steps in? That's not a simple question. Bringing in a new defensive coordinator means new terminology, new philosophies, and growing pains. At a time when the Broncos are trying to compete for a Super Bowl window, is that a risk they can afford? And with Bo Nix likely returning next season for his second year, the last thing this team needs is more systemic turnover, especially when the defense has been the bedrock. And there's still more to unpack here, Broncos country, because beyond the coaching intrigue, this moment marks a pivotal cultural shift in Denver. What we're witnessing isn't just a late-season playoff push. It's the culmination of years of frustration being replaced by genuine hope. And at the heart of that resurgence, stability, chemistry, identity, all of which Vance Joseph has helped solidify on the defensive side of the ball. Let's not sugarcoat it. The Broncos haven't had this level of sustained defensive performance since the peak of the no-fly zone era. The cohesion we're seeing in coverage, the pressure generated off the edge, and the ability to neutralize elite quarterbacks, that's not by accident. That's a system working. That's players bought in. And that's what's at stake if Joseph walks out the door. And while some fans might say, well, if he wants to be a head coach again, let him go, it's not that simple. This isn't just about filling a vacancy. Defensive coordinators like Vance don't grow on trees, especially those who have already proven they can command a unit through adversity and elevate the play of young talent. Look at what he's done with Nick Benito and Jonathan Cooper. They've gone from promising pieces to consistent disruptors. Zach Allen has become a linchpin. Riley, even if he only has one pick officially, has been instrumental in coverage all year long. The fingerprints of great coaching are all over this defense. And that's the hardest part, letting go of someone who has finally brought the type of consistency and identity Broncos fans have been craving. Joseph may not be the flashiest coach, but he brings results. And in a league that revolves around production, that matters. So as we watch this team head into the most crucial stretch of the season, it's impossible to ignore what could be around the corner. A playoff run, a head coaching offer, a potential departure, and all of it colliding at once. But I want to hear from you. Would you break the bank to keep Vance Joseph, even if it means making him the highest paid defensive coordinator in the league? Or do you think it's time to let him chase that second shot as an NFL head coach? Drop your thoughts in the comments.